Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Marcel and today we're going to talk about a couple of lessons that I've learned from transitioning genders. Number one, you don't need to be understood to be happy. Transitioning and being a transgender person can be something that's hard to understand for people who aren't experiencing it. It can be even hard to understand when you are experiencing it. Even if it is hard to fathom and you can't quite find the words to articulate what dysphoria feels like or why in particular that photo makes you feel so terrible, or why you feel the need to go on hormones. It doesn't mean that your experience isn't valid. It doesn't mean that because you can't explain it, it's not real or it's not important. It also doesn't mean that you have to necessarily explain every step on your transition journey. You don't have to justify any of these decisions to anyone, really, if that's what you feel is right for you and your body. I think this not needing everyone to understand is a way of taking ownership of your body and realizing that it's something you're going to have to live with every second of every single day. And it's perfectly fine to take care of you and your relationship with your body without other people necessarily understanding. Number two, gender is kind of nonsense. There's a lot of rules in society about what gender should be, what male and female is, what non-binary isn't. At the end of the day, these are all rules that have developed through history and culture, and they aren't necessarily inherent to biology, psychology, physiology. Express yourself exactly as you'd want to. Don't jump out of one box just to get into another and lock the door because you want to feel or appear valid as the gender that you've realized that you are. Gender is complicated, nuanced, it's not black and white, and it's totally okay to experiment and enjoy yourself. Number three, mental illness and things like dysphoria can tell you a lot of lies. I think a major thing I learned while transitioning is that talking about how you feel and what you're thinking and what's going on in your head is incredibly helpful. People don't necessarily have to understand what it is you're going through or what you're saying, but the act of saying it out loud and breathing some air into this kind of chamber of suffering that you're in can really help lighten the load. Even if it doesn't necessarily solve anything, just speaking out loud to people and letting people know how you're feeling and how the transition's going and whether you're struggling or not can be incredibly helpful. It's okay to lean on people and it's okay to, give oxygen to these things inside of your head. And as a little bonus lesson, self-acceptance, and I think especially bodily acceptance is a tricky game. It's something I work on every single day. I work to combat negative thoughts and the way dysphoria makes me feel. Well, not so much combat as give space to. Having a body is a tricky thing. They get sick, they might not look the way we want them to, or they might express a different sort of gender than we feel we are. But you've got one and you've got to take care of it. And a part of that is trying your best, even in the hardest moments, to find kindness for your body and everything good that it does. I know that feels impossible sometimes, and maybe it is in those moments impossible to feel any sort of kindness when you're deep in the depths of dysphoria. But there's always the next moment or the next day where you could take a walk, have a hot bath, something that helps you relate to your body in a more caring and less critical fashion, which can be very tricky for anyone, transgender or otherwise. So that's the end of the video today. Just a couple of things I've learned during transitioning. I hope you find that helpful. Let me know in the comments how you're going today.